What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today we're here at, another Super Evolution reveal. And this is a very exciting one. Obviously we saw that the Pirate Rumble banner was focusing on Luffy and Ace, which means that, that they're probably going to be the next Super Evolution, and that's exactly what is going on. So today we get to talk about Luffy, Ace, and their Super Evolution. This is one of the most anticipated characters to receive a Super Evolution in quite some time. So let's go ahead and break down exactly what they got, because this is a very intriguing Super Evolution. Before we jump into what they actually do, let's break down the initial, character abilities of this character. So you've got Luffy, Ace. You had the Luffy side of things giving free spirit, 3 attack. 3 times attack is just so bad when you think about it. You get 1.2 HP and 15% damage reduction. You flip it over to Ace, who is a free spirit shooter instead of being a fighter character, and he also gives, free spirit the boost, but similar to Ace characters of old, where he'd give a really big boost of attack if you have a matching slot. If you don't have a matching slot, you get a very significant decrease to your power, going from 2.25 up to 3.5. It's a pretty big jump, honestly. And then you have the combined captain ability, taking the best of both worlds, 3x attack, 4.25 with a matching slot, 20% damage reduction, very, very basic bare bones captain. But when it came out, it was widely considered to be one of the best in the game. You have the special ability of this unit as well, 75 times their attack in typeless damage to all enemies, 2 times all boost for the crew, and then free spirit characters get their type slots changed into matching, and of course they combine into the dual unit for 3 turns, and then you have their switch ability as well, removing paralysis, despair, and slotbind on themselves completely, and then giving themselves a guaranteed matching slot that goes through block orbs. So, obviously a lot of people were really excited when he first came out. I believe this was the first dual unit in the game, if I remember correctly, or the first legend dual unit to come out in the game. So again, many people were very, very excited about this. And many people were excited once again to see how they were going to apply a Super Evolution to one of the most fan favorite characters in the game. So let's go ahead and have a look. First of all, the artwork for this character, probably not what I was expecting, but still a pretty cool artwork nonetheless. Let's go ahead and break it down. So you have the solo captain of Luffy, who is a quick free spirit fighter with no change there, which is cool. Captain ability, -1 cooldown at the start of the quest, no real surprise there. Free spirit and fighter characters receive 1.2 HP, 4.75 times attack, and then quick and strength slots are beneficial to the crew, 20% damage reduction, and reducing special reverse by 5 turns. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that my Luffy Ace that we're having a look at here does have level limit break 5, so that does definitely change things, because I believe without that level limit break, he probably does not have the ability to resist special reverse. So if you think about it in that aspect, the captain ability is pretty boring. But when you add the special reverse on top of that, this is something that I was talking about on my stream yesterday. We're kind of trying to predict what they were going to do with Luffy and Ace, and I said that if they were adding some type of utility effect into the captain to make it like worth running as a captain, that would be a huge benefit, and that's exactly what they've done here, which is so good. I'm happy about this, honestly. The captain ability is pretty acceptable in my eyes, no real big issues there. You move over to the Ace side of things, and once again, cooldown and HP boost, and very similar to before, you get a 4.5 times attack boost, but then it scales all the way up to 5.25 with a matching slot, so very similar to before. Quick and strength are beneficial. He obviously only provides the attack boost to free spirit and shooter characters, where Luffy is free spirit and fighter. So I do find that to be a little strange, because it can make it a bit wonky if you just want to use a full fighter team, and then sometimes you have to switch into Ace, and then you don't get the boost for the fighters because they're not free spirit or they're not shooter characters. That can be a bit weird. It should just boost fighter, free spirit, and shooter just across the board on all captains. Probably would have made a bit more sense. And then Ace also resists 5 turns of special reverse. And then of course you go to the dual captain, and it's just the best version of it, where you get cooldown, HP, 5.5 attack, 5 times otherwise if you don't have that matching slot. Make quick strength and dex slots now beneficial, 20% damage reduction, and 5 turns of special reverse. So yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing really to complain about. I mean, it's good multipliers, lots of matching slots, HP cooldown, and then a utility effect. It's pretty much all we could really ask for in terms of captain upgrades. But now we get into the special, because the special ability of this unit is different. Let's talk about the solo form of this unit first in terms of their special. So you've got 200 times their attack and typeless damage to all enemies, so it's a damage dealing special, which we all love. Reduces bind duration by 6 turns, which is so good. I love the fact that they have that ability. Boosting crew's slot effects by 2.5 times for 1 turn. And then boost the crew's attack by 2.25 for 2 turns if the crew has an orb boost when you launch the special. So a reduced redundancy type of special, you absolutely love to see it. No real issues there from me. I love the fact that they have that. The multipliers are not incredibly high, but it's still cool that if you have an overrideable attack boost when you launch the special, you can get an attack boost and an orb boost together in one, or it's an overrideable orb boost, right? You get the orb boost first, and then it says if you already have an orb boost, you get the attack boost. So eventually, when they start releasing more of these overrideable orb boosts, then this is going to be really, really cool to get both buffs activated simultaneously. Okay, furthermore, it says that it changes free spirit, fighter, and shooter character slots, including block, into matching. That's really cool. Applies an ignited status to all enemies for 1 turn, and then Luffy and Ace become combined for 3 turns. Furthermore, if the captain is quick or strength, boost damage dealt against ignited enemies by 2.25 for 1 turn. So being able to get damage dealing special, 6 turns of bind, 2.5 orb boost, 2.25 attack boost, full board of slots for free spirit, fighter, and shooter, and also being able to then apply ignited status and also get a conditional boost against them. It's a pretty strong special. It does a lot of things at once. So I don't really have too many complaints about this. The only real issue that I see is the fact that, you know, the ignited status doesn't go through full immunity, and obviously that's a given. They don't really like to do that too often. They definitely seclude that to very specific units, so it seems okay. But then, of course, we have to talk about their switch effect, because the switch effect obviously is very important for these dual units here. So let's go ahead and have a look. So first of all, the base switch effect of this unit removes characters' paralysis, despair, and slot bind completely on themselves. Changes their own slot, including block, into matching, and then you get a chain boundary. It starts at 1.5 but scales up to 15 for 1 turn. So it's not a very significant chain boundary, but it's a 1.5 chain boundary nonetheless that you can get every single turn. That's actually pretty cool. I like it. It's just a free chain boost that you're getting every turn. There's no real problems with that at all. It's pretty good. But then you have their switch effect, and this is very, very important for this unit, because their switch effect is a 6 turn swap, and it does a very similar thing. You know, you go ahead and remove the debuff of paralysis, despair, and slot bind. You change their own slot to matching that goes through block orbs. You get a better chain boundary of 2.5 this time, but then they combine to Luffy and Ace for 3 turns. So this is big, because this is, you know, obviously very reminiscent of Luffy and Yamato. Being able to combine into their dual unit, and a lot of people would wonder, why the hell would you even want to do this in the first place? And the main reason why they have the ability to combine into their dual unit with their switch effect is because if you end up using their special while they're in their dual form, they actually do something slightly different. So it says launching the special as a double character will have a stronger effect, and it does 200 times their attack and typeless damage to all enemies, reducing 6 turns of bind, which is all the same as before, but now the orb boost is 2.75 and it's for 2 turns, and then it says that you get a 2.5 attack boost for 2 turns if you already have an orb boost. So the multiplier for the orb boosts and the attack boost have been increased while they're in their dual form. It changes free spirit, fighter, and shooter characters into matching through block, which was the same. It applies an ignited status to all enemies for 2 turns. I believe it was only for 1 turn previously. It still, unfortunately, does not go through immunity, and I feel like if people are going to go out of their way to use their special in the dual form, this probably should have gone through immunity. In my opinion, I think that would have been a more wise decision. Furthermore, if captain is quick or strength, you get the ignited conditional boost for 2 turns. So essentially, the only real difference that you get from using their special in their dual form is the slightly higher orb and attack boost. The rest of it is pretty much the same, right? So, I mean, I like that there is the opportunity to do that, but realistically speaking, I feel like the benefits that you get for doing it aren't super significant. Yes, if you do get this super switch, you get a more significant chain boundary, which gives gives you more damage overall during those big burst turns. It does require you to do 6 swaps to get that super switch, which can be annoying in a lot of circumstances, but at least it's these type of switch effects that you can actually definitely use every single turn. It's not going to be a problem, you know, unlike, you know, Ace and Yamato, for example. Ace and Yamato, the Super Sugo unit, with their switch effect that ignites the enemies every single turn, which can be a bit of an issue because you can basically not stall. This is the type of switch that you can stall and get, and it's not really going to be a problem at all. But it's just unfortunate that the amount of effort that you go through to get their special while in their dual form doesn't really amount to all that much. So I'm a bit underwhelmed by that end game component of getting the super switch, combining them, then using their special. I feel like the output should have been better than what they've given us here. But in terms of what you're going to be using generically with this base special, I don't really have an issue with this at all. It seems like a pretty good buff to this unit overall. It's just a really strong unit. But we haven't finished what we're talking about here. We need to talk about their Rumble buffs, because yes, they are usable in Rumble. I would say maybe usable. I don't know if people are going to use them that much because there's lots of overlap between Aces and Luffy's specifically. But looking at their Rumble ability, they give a rainbow buff to everyone, level 6 attack. But then Free Spirit receive 5 crit and 5 defense, so that's kind of okay, no real issues there. The special ability, unfortunately, is not that great. 27 CT, Free Spirit get 5 attack and 5 defense, but then targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 1.85 times attack. Now, you don't have to be Einstein to figure out that 1.85 times attack is kind of garbage. That's not a very good Rumble special, considering most meta, you know, units that have a multiplicative special, you know, based on their multiplier, is like upwards of like at least like a 2 to 2.5 at a bare minimum for most hard-hitting units, right? The fact that this guy's 1.85, it's just not going to cut it. This really should have been like at a bare minimum, like a 2.25, maybe a 2.5, right? This is just not good enough. 2.85 is just terrible. The rest of the special is fine. Like, I like the fact that he gives buffs to attack and defense and then does damage. That is good. But also, not only the fact that the damage isn't that good, but it's in a large horizontal range. So you're not even going to be hitting that many units unless if you get really lucky. So, unfortunately, the special of this unit is really, really underwhelming. You're looking at the rest though, I mean, you got a healing effect in their behavior pattern, they evade paralysis completely, and they reduce damage taken from driven by 40%. That's a very significant resistance, but it's just unfortunate that the rest of the kit doesn't help that much. So that's Luffy and Ace. That's the breakdown of Luffy Ace. They seem like a pretty good buff, but like they're not as good as Cat Dog, let's say. They're not the Cat Dog level 6+, but they're not the dual Big Mom level of buff. They feel definitely like middle of the road. Like, yeah, some good buffs, not game breaking, not going to shake up the tier list or anything, but they're just a solid, good unit, right? That's the breakdown of Luffy Ace. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about him down below in the comment section, and let me know your thoughts and opinions. Hopefully, maybe you guys get some better ideas for them. It all comes down to overrideable orb boost, in my opinion. When things come out in regards to that, it's going to make this unit even better. At this current point in time, we don't have that many overrideable orb boosts. We've got a lot of overrideable attack boosts. Definitely need some more orb boosting type of stuff so that you can really get the most out of this special. That's going to wrap it up for me, though. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.